Ever get that feeling like you've got a million tabs open in your brain?
Oh, yeah.
Juggling tasks and ideas and to-dos.
All the time.
And it's especially tough, right, if you're wired a little differently.
Right.
Like with ADHD, where like traditional planners, they feel more like straitjackets than helpful tools.
Yeah, they're the worst.
So today, we are diving into a fascinating organizational system
Okay.
that's gaining popularity, particularly among those who feel like their brains are running a marathon they never signed up for.
Interesting.
And get this,
Okay.
the system was actually created by someone with ADHD
Oh, wow.
to manage his own mental whirlwind.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we've got some incredible sources for this deep dive.
Lay it on me.
So we've got a scientist mom who swears by the system,
Okay.
a guide specifically for those with ADHD,
Cool.
and even insights from the creator himself.
Wow, so we're going right to the source.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this gives us a really unique perspective.
Yeah.
We're going beyond just like the how-to
Right.
and into like the why of this method and why it seems to click for so many people,
I like that.
particularly those who thrive on flexibility and creative thinking.
Yeah, for sure.
So our scientist mom,
Okay.
she paints a picture we can all relate to.
I'm sure.
Juggling work and family and that like never-ending mental to-do list.
It never ends.
And just feeling constantly overwhelmed.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that feeling is definitely all too common.
It is.
And it's amplified for those with ADHD who often struggle with traditional linear approaches to organization.
Linear.
I know.
Not my favorite.
Not great.
But what's interesting is that this method embraces a more fluid and adaptable way of thinking.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
It's much better.
It's not about fitting yourself into some like predetermined box.
Right.
You're creating a system that works with your unique brain.
So it's like customized?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's personalized.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a notebook-based system
Oh, interesting.
where you can capture thoughts, tasks, and events
Okay.
in a way that feels natural and personalized.
So instead of feeling restricted by rigid structures,
Yeah.
you're actually encouraged to make it your own.
You have the freedom.
Yes, exactly.
I like that.
And that's a key point.
Yeah.
The act of writing things down,
Mm-hmm.
of physically getting them out of your head and onto paper,
Okay.
can be incredibly therapeutic,
I can see that.
especially for those with ADHD.
Definitely.
It's like taking a snapshot of all those like swirling thoughts
Yeah.
and pinning them down somewhere where you can actually see them and deal with them.
Oh, that's a good visual.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah, totally.
If you're constantly bombarded with thoughts and ideas,
Yeah.
having a way to capture them externally can help create some mental breathing room.
Oh, yeah. Mental breathing room is essential.
I know we all need it.
For sure.
So it's about externalizing the mental clutter, freeing up cognitive space to focus on what truly matters.
You're getting rid of the noise.
Yes, exactly.
To focus on the signal.
And the structure of the system is so fascinating.
Okay, tell me more.
It's almost like a choose-your-own-adventure for organization.
Ooh. I like the sound of that.
There's an index to keep track of everything.
Okay.
Monthly logs for a bird's eye view,
I see.
daily logs for breaking things down,
Mm-hmm.
and then these collections where you can dive into specific projects or areas of interest.
So it's like really comprehensive.
It is.
That's cool.
But what's brilliant is that it's a framework, not a set of strict rules.
Oh, okay.
You can adapt it to your own needs, your own way of thinking.
That's good.
It's about understanding the core principles and then making them work for you.
So you're not locked in?
Not at all.
You can customize it?
It's like having a customizable toolbox instead of a one-size-fits-all solution.
Right. Which never really fits anyone.
Never.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's one of the reasons it resonates so strongly with people who have ADHD.
Makes sense.
It taps into their natural creativity and allows them to express themselves through their organizational system.
So it's kind of like another creative outlet.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay, so let's talk about this migration concept.
Okay, migration.
So you're basically moving tasks from one section to another if they don't get done.
Right.
Doesn't that seem a bit tedious?
Well, it might seem that way at first.
Yeah.
But it's actually a brilliant strategy, especially for those with ADHD
Okay.
who often struggle with starting but not finishing tasks. The act of physically rewriting a task, of consciously choosing to move it forward,
Yeah.
it forces you to confront it
Okay.
and reevaluate its importance.
So it's not just about mindlessly transferring tasks,
No.
but about actively engaging with them.
Right. You have to be present.
Yeah, and making intentional choices.
Right.
And this repeated evaluation
Mm-hmm.
helps you prioritize what truly matters
Absolutely.
and let go of those tasks that are just taking up mental space without actually contributing to your goals.
It's decluttering for your mind.
Yes, exactly. It's almost like a built-in accountability system.
Yeah.
Making you confront those lingering to-dos instead of just letting them pile up.
Right, because if you keep moving it forward, you're like, okay, this thing is important.
You're like, why am
I need to do this, or maybe I don't.
Exactly.
Wow.
And for anyone who feels overwhelmed by their to-do list, this can be a game changer.
Totally.
It's about gaining control, not through rigid adherence to a predetermined plan, but through a dynamic process of reflection and prioritization.
You're in the driver's seat.
You are.
Nice.
And this whole visual aspect really intrigues me.
Oh, yeah, visuals.
Being able to see your time and tasks laid out, using different colors, symbols, or layouts,
Right.
that must be incredibly helpful.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially for those who struggle with abstract concepts of time.
For sure, it can be.
It's a powerful way to tap into like the visual and creative strengths that many people with ADHD possess.
They're very visual thinkers, a lot of them.
Right? And instead of fighting against their natural inclinations, this method encourages them to embrace their unique way of thinking and processing information.
It's like working with your brain, not against it.
Exactly.
Right.
And speaking of personalization,
Okay.
our YouTuber source had a hilarious rant
Oh, I love a good rant.
about the tyranny of traditional planners and their restrictive boxes.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I think we all felt that on some level.
I've been there, for sure.
So it highlights this important shift from feeling confined by a system
Yeah.
to feeling empowered to create one that reflects your individual needs and preferences.
You get to make it your own.
You do.
That's great.
You're not just following someone else's rules.
Mm-hmm.
You're designing a system that works for your brain.
It's
It's like taking back control of your time and energy instead of letting those predetermined boxes dictate how you should think and operate.
You're the boss.
Yes, I am.
I love that.
And this idea of understanding yourself,
Yeah.
of recognizing your unique strengths and challenges,
Mm-hmm.
that's a key theme that runs throughout the creator's work.
He's big on self-awareness.
He describes ADHD as a constant storm of thoughts, ideas, and distractions,
I can see that.
making it incredibly difficult to focus and prioritize.
Oh, for sure.
He talks about feeling like he was constantly trying to catch raindrops in a storm,
Oh, wow.
always struggling to keep up with the influx of information and stimulation.
That sounds exhausting.
It does. That feeling of mental overwhelm must be incredibly draining.
I bet it is.
And he actually refers to this notebook-based system as his lightning rod,
Oh, that's cool.
way to ground himself amidst that mental chaos.
Yeah, so instead of being tossed about by the storm, he found a way to harness its energy.
Harness the energy.
Yeah.
It's a powerful image.
I like that.
And through this system, he was able to create space for those moments of clarity and inspiration.
Yeah.
The lightning strikes, as he calls them,
Okay.
to shine through.
So it's like finding those nuggets of gold in all the chaos.
Exactly. And it's almost like he's saying that ADHD isn't just about challenges.
Right.
It's also about this incredible potential for creative thinking and innovative ideas.
They definitely think outside the box.
They do.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing the strengths that often come along with the challenges.
Finding the silver lining.
And he emphasizes that it's not about trying to control every single thought or idea.
Right.
That's impossible,
Mhm.
especially with ADHD.
Yeah, your brain's always going.
It is.
Yeah.
It's about finding those things that truly spark your passion and purpose
Okay.
and allowing those to guide you.
So focusing on what matters.
That raindrop quote really resonated with me.
Yeah.
I used to drown myself in to-do lists,
I feel that.
never questioning why I was doing any of it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, just going through the motions.
Yeah, and this whole idea of understanding the reason behind your actions feels like a real shift in perspective.
Yeah. It's like being more intentional.
I'll split your time and energy.
And this idea of consciously choosing your suffering.
That's deep.
That is deep.
He acknowledges that pain and challenges are inevitable,
Right. That's life.
but it's our reaction to the stories we tell ourselves that often determine our level of suffering.
Yeah. Mindset is everything.
And through this system, he found a way to examine those stories,
Okay.
to challenge negative thought patterns,
Right.
and ultimately to choose a more empowering perspective.
That's powerful.
It's like using this organizational system as a tool for self-discovery and personal growth.
So it's going deeper than just like
Much deeper.
you're getting organized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to the structure of this method for a moment.
Okay.
The index.
Yeah, the index.
Sounds like a great way to keep track of everything you've captured in your notebook.
It's like the table of contents for your brain.
I like that.
Right.
It helps you navigate through your thoughts and ideas, making it easier to find what you need when you need it.
Especially for those with ADHD who might be brilliant at making connections but struggle with remembering where they put things.
Oh, yeah.
This can be huge.
It's like creating a map of your mental landscape.
Yes, exactly.
And then you've got your yearly log, which is a big picture overview. Your monthly log for a more focused perspective.
Right.
And your daily logs for breaking things down into manageable chunks.
So you've got different levels of zoom.
We do.
Yeah.
So like zooming in and out, getting different perspectives on your time and priorities.
I like that analogy.
Well, you should. And what about these collections?
Okay, collection.
Are those like separate notebooks for specific projects or areas of interest?
You can think of them as dedicated spaces within your notebook where you can deep dive into specific topics.
Okay.
Like, for example, you could have a collection for work projects, another for personal goals, another for brainstorming ideas.
I see.
The possibilities are endless.
It's a great way to organize your thoughts and keep everything related to a particular topic in one place.
It's like having different folders in your brain.
And what's fascinating is that this method encourages you to be playful and creative.
Yes, you're not restricted.
You can create your own symbols to represent different types of entries, experiment with different layouts and colors, and really personalize the system to reflect your own unique style.
So you can make it pretty.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
totally.
I love that it takes the pressure off having to be perfectly organized.
Totally.
And allows for a more intuitive and expressive approach.
It's about finding what works for you.
And I remember you mentioned earlier that this method encourages you to combine the benefits of pen and paper with the searchability of digital tools.
Oh, yeah. If you're someone who likes to have that digital access, you can totally do that.
So you crave that digital accessibility. You can use apps like Evernote to capture your notes and make them searchable.
Right.
You can take pictures of your notebook pages and upload them, which creates a bridge between the analog and digital worlds.
The best of both worlds.
That's such a clever way to take advantage of both mediums.
I know, right?
So we've explored this method from multiple angles.
Yeah.
A busy mom finding sanity, the practicalities for ADHD brains, and even the philosophical musings of the creator himself.
He's a deep thinker.
He is what stands out to you from all of this. What resonates with your own experience?
Honestly, it's the combination of structure and flexibility that's really intriguing.
Yeah.
It's not about forcing yourself into a rigid system,
Right.
but rather about creating a framework that supports your natural way of thinking and working.
I think that's a key takeaway for anyone feeling overwhelmed by the constant pressure to do more, be more, achieve more.
Yeah, we put so much pressure on ourselves.
We do.
So this method offers a path towards self-acceptance.
Yes.
And finding a way to work with your unique strengths and challenges.
It's like giving yourself permission to be who you are and finding a system that actually supports that instead of trying to fit into a mold that doesn't work for you.
It's like giving yourself a break.
We all need that.
We do.
So it's about finding freedom within structure.
I like that.
Yeah, it's so refreshing.
It is.
To hear about a system that encourages you to embrace your individuality instead of trying to squash it into some like predetermined mold.
Yeah, like we were talking about, one size fits all.
Never works.
Never works.
Especially when it comes to organization and productivity.
Yeah, especially for people with ADHD,
Right.
who often have unique ways of processing information and managing their time.
So what does this all mean for you, dear listener?
Yeah.
If you are feeling overwhelmed, scattered, constantly battling that mental storm, maybe this is worth exploring.
Could be.
It's not a magic bullet,
Right.
but it could be a powerful tool for understanding yourself better
Yeah.
and finding a way to manage the chaos.
And it's about so much more than just checking things off a list.
Right.
It's about finding a system that works with your brain, not against it.
Working with it, not against it.
Yes.
It's about creating space for those lightning strike moments of inspiration and clarity.
I love those lightning strikes.
They can get lost in the noise of everyday life.
Yeah. They're so easy to miss.
I love that image of lightning strikes.
Me too.
It's like those sudden bursts of energy and insight that can lead to incredible breakthroughs
Right.
if you're able to capture and harness them.
Exactly. It's about recognizing those moments
Mm-hmm.
and having a system in place to nurture them, to allow them to flourish.
And this method, with its emphasis on reflection, prioritization, and self-awareness, can be a powerful tool for doing just that.
It really can be.
It's almost like it's giving you permission
Yeah.
to be your most authentic, creative self,
Right.
even in the midst of all the chaos and demands of modern life.
Yeah. Finding that calm amidst the storm.
And maybe, just maybe, it could help you discover
Yeah.
those lightning strikes of inspiration and clarity
Right.
that are waiting to be unearthed.
I love that.
Here's a final thought to leave you with.
Okay, I'm ready.
What amazing ideas, insights, or creative sparks are you missing out on because of all that mental clutter?
Yeah, good question.
What would be possible if you could clear some of that noise and make space for those lightning strikes to shine through?
That's something to think about.
It is. And on that note, we'll wrap up our deep dive.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
This was fun.
Always a pleasure.
Until next time.